Welcome back to the Roofing SEO tutorial. We're at part 5. We've just created a bunch of great copy for service area pages and service pages. We'll get onto blog posts at a later point, but now what we're going to do is, now that we have the material and we're ready to put it into a web page, we want to know what kind of boxes should we tick when we build the pages. So when you check these boxes, what's really happening is it's making it easier for Google to understand what your page is about and where to put it. It's not necessarily going to make you rank page 1 just because you've checked all the, done the right things for SEO. And in fact, Google's getting so good now that a lot of these are becoming, less important. It's still important to have an organized page that's very easy to understand. But what's happening is Google's looking more at, are you answering the intent, search intent of the searcher? If you are doing that, you're doing a great job. And for service pages like metal roofing service, they're going there to understand your metal roofing service. So we're pretty clear on what their intent is. So you're fine in that respect. So with that said, I'm going to show you kind of how I do things. There's probably other boxes that I could create, but I think these are like the big ones to check off. So just to give you like a bird's eye view of things. So this is a potential website for a roofer, and we're talking about creating service pages like service pages like metal roof installation. Maybe you have a gutter installation page. So just a page for every service you do. That's like best practice to have a page for every service. Uh, Even if SEO wasn't a thing, it would be a good thing to do, because if people are going to spend a lot of money, they want to have wrap their minds around what's going to happen, and this is what allows them to do that. It's sort of like the idea behind an About Us page, where like people want to scratch that itch about like, who are you, like what, like should I trust you, for that reason. Okay, so now what we know, like we're talking about these service pages, not the blogs yet. So let's talk about what to do for that when you're creating the pages on the web.
Hey there, this is Andrew. So if you like this content, feel free to like and subscribe below. Thanks.
So here's my sheet, and what I'm going to do is take an example of the San Diego Roofing Company, and this looks like the homepage, Professional San Diego Roofing. I'm going to see if I can find, how about this, residential roofing. Okay, this is sort of a service area page, but let's just pretend it's just a service page, all right? So we have this service page here. Now, what do we want to do? I like to kind of keep track of the things I've done for each page. So what I would do is I would grab this URL here and put it here. Okay, I got the page URL. And now let's assume we're just publishing that page today. So here's a little trick. You press Command and then semicolon, and that gives you the date. Page type. So I talked about service pages, service area pages. So I'm just going to create a new one here. Call this service page. Done. Great. So now I can click service page. And let me just hide that quick. Okay, keyword targeting. So this is like the keyword that we're trying to rank for on this page. So in their case, it looks like, it's usually the H1. This tool is called, let's see, SEO Meta in one click. So if you want to grab that, go ahead. It's a nice, easy tool to see like just quickly what the headers are. So residential roofing. So that's the keyword they're going after. Interesting. So I'm going to put that in here. And by the way, the way I'm popping this in, you could just do Command V, but then you're going to have the formatting of this, which isn't what I want, or pardon me, of this. I don't really want this formatting. I want the formatting of this page. So let's get rid of that. I'm going to Command Z. If you click Command Shift V, that's going to keep the formatting here and make things look pretty. All right. So let's keep going. Let me remove that. Okay. Added tag and category, blogs only. So we're going to skip this. So this is if you have a blog page and you want to add extra things to the page for filtering purposes. So if it's like, um, let's say you have posts about gutters, and then you have posts about roof installation. So those could be different categories, and you'd want to give the right category for the kind of blog page it is. So that's what that's about. Test social share links. Actually, yeah, so again, for blogs, on service pages and service area pages, um, I don't tend to put these social share links because I don't think people are like sharing, oh, I found this really great gutter installation page yesterday. They're sharing things about, oh, I read this really interesting article on gutters that applies to San Diego residents. So I don't put the share links on service pages, so we can skip that. Schema markup. Okay, so this is interesting, and you may not know about this. So a lot of these pages on the web, they have this thing called schema. It's JSON. It's basically it's code that you don't see. You don't see it on the page, but um, the Google bots do. So let me just briefly see what kind of stuff they have. So I use this website called validator.schema.org. Um, it's in different language right now. Don't worry about that. It should be English for yours. Okay. So I'm just going to pop in the URL and see what kind of schema it has. Let me see if I can change the language here. English. Let's do English. Great. Okay. Now we're in English. Okay, yeah, so it has like a little bit of schema there. Entry. And it's a web page. Okay. So that's schema. It's this kind of coding language that, if you're using a builder like any builder, almost like Squarespace or Wix, usually the schema just kind of, it's just automatic. But there's some extra schema that you can do, and I'll show you about that in a bit. Like, let me see if they have it here on this page, if there's an opportunity. Okay, I don't see it there, but let me just quickly take a peek at one of my pages. I'm going to go to a service page, services. I'm just going to go to SEO service. And I tend to love creating these um, schema for FAQs. So it's just another way to really explicitly tell Google, like, hey, there are frequently asked questions here. It might make it more likely for Google to show these kinds of questions and answers in like a featured snippet. At any rate, it just helps, gives Google more information about your site, and it's not too difficult to do. So I'm just going to copy this and do the same thing. So I'm just going to run a new test. Okay, so you see FAQ page, and then look, we have answer, text, sorry, question. So we got question, what is SEO? Answer, question, answer. And how do I do this? You could use a special tool, but typically I found ChatGPT does a pretty good job. So let's say I go to ChatGPT and say, give me schema markup for the following questions. And these need to match the questions on your page. Like, you don't want to give FAQs that don't exist on your page there. That's a big no-no. So if it's on the page, you can use it. If it's not on the page, don't use it. So give me schema markup for the following questions related to metal roofing. How long does a metal roof last? Long. Um, are metal roofs fireproof? Yes. Okay. Very simple. All right. And that's what schema looks like. You just copy it. So you'll copy it And then if there's like a code injection thing for a page, then you just enter it in on the page. Yeah. And if you're not sure exactly how to do that, you can always ask ChatGPT, like, okay, where do I put this? Walk me through it. And then let's say like, okay, I have Wix, for example. Let's just say I have Wix. See, no worries. It's gonna walk you through everything. You just gotta know how to copy paste. If you have Squarespace, you might need to like upgrade your plan to get like code injection. But yep, that's it. So then you'll have schema. Awesome. So that's one of my checklist items. Like, hey, does this thing have schema for blogs? I haven't really found much reason to use it, but maybe there is, and I'll find later. Okay, Copyscape. So since we're using AI, it's not a bad idea to run it through that tool. So I'm just gonna bring up Copyscape here. Copyscape. Okay, so you just grab an account here, you get a few credits, and it's really cheap. Like, I think I usually spend like 50 cents, like, you know, checking 5 or so different articles. It's really, really cheap. So Copyscape is just a way to make sure you're not plagiarizing because AI can do that. So you just pop it into there and get your response. And then what I do is I just enter the response here, and it's usually fine. Like nothing's wrong. There's no plagiarism. Okay, so ad featured and social images. Interesting. So if you were to take this and pop it into your Facebook account, I won't do it now, but there's usually like a little image that'll come up. So like maybe I'm just gonna quickly go into my Facebook account. Okay, so when I talk about the featured image, this is what I'm kind of referring to. So you'll have a web page and then there's like a special image that corresponds to that page. So this is like the image. You don't want to be sharing a link. Like if someone happened to want to share this, you want it to look good. So you need to have like an image and then some text below. So you just need that. Okay, great. So we add featured or social images, add meta descriptions. Just make this a little bigger. Okay, so what are meta descriptions? I mentioned them before, so let's just do San Diego. Here is a meta description. So you got the title and then the meta description. Okay, so you want to have those as well. Uh, Heads up, Google likes to change these, and there's not much you can do. So just do your best, and maybe it'll keep it, maybe it won't. So that's all you can kind of do. All right, so add meta descriptions, make sure you have those. Indexing enabled. So there's this really good tool called Google Search Console. So you go here, you get an account, and you link it to your website. And it's actually not too difficult to do. You'll the maybe the scariest part is you'll need to go into your DNS domain name service area and add a TXT record, but that's it. So it's basically to tell Google like, hey, you can look at my site and all my statistics. It gives Google permission to do that. So you sign up for Google Search Console, you link up your website, and you're good to go. And then once you do that, I'm going to show you briefly how what I do once I have like a new web page. So Google will likely index it faster than if I had just done nothing and waited. So I'm going to go to that area real quick for you. In Google Search Console, to check if a page is indexed or not, you can come up here, enter the page URL that you want to have indexed, and click return. If this is a new page, you won't see this. It'll probably say it's like not on Google yet, and then you can request indexing. So that's all you got to do is just click request indexing and you're good to go. So that's indexing. Alt tags. So what are alt tags? I'll show you. So I'm just going to go into this little developer tools here. So I'm clicking the image, and now I'm going to look for a thing that says ALT. And let's see, title, alt. There we go. San Diego Residential Roofing. That's the alt tag. So this is what tells people who use screen readers to navigate their website what this image is about. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, Europe can actually penalize websites. If they're European-based websites, I believe, if they don't have an alt tag. So it's kind of a big deal, at least over there. Uh, but it's good just in general to add those because who doesn't want to help people who use screen readers? So adding an alt tag for all of your images is a great practice. And how do we know if we've added them all? Again, you can just use this tool, SEO. What's it called? SEO Meta. SEO Meta in one click. So you click that, go to images, and there's one without an alt tag. Um, let's see, alt. So I guess it's this one here. So it looks like a logo. I was gonna see if it is or not. Is it that one? Image, alt title. Uh, hmm. Yeah, maybe it's that one. Just kind of weird. It says like alt and then title. But anyways, yeah. So maybe they could do with adding an alt tag there. Okay. So alt tags, are they all present? 6 internal links. So if you're not familiar with backlinks, so let's say we have this page here. Um, backlinks are links from other websites that point to this, and they give this page authority. Now, using that same principle, you can pass authority within your own website. So typically the home page has the most authority, so you can link the home page to this residential roofing page. And how do you do that? One, we have this, menu up here that links to it, so that helps. But what it would be even better is to have somewhere in the body of the homepage that links to it. So how can you accomplish that? For example, this. So we have like here are our services, and then you can use that to link to the page. So if I click here, boom, residential roofing. So great job for them. Other ways to do it, you could do it in FAQs. I don't see any FAQs here. You can do it maybe down here in the footer. But I mean, you don't have to do it like you don't have to have all 6 links from the homepage to that service. So maybe you could have like 1 or 2 on the homepage, and then you can go to other pages like let's see, commercial roofing, and maybe lo and behold, there is a list of all services that you do, and then you can link again to residential roofing. So there's ways you can do it. You just got to have like other pages on your site to link to it. And that just helps pass more authority and actually can make it easier for people to navigate. So maybe they're on a page and they're like, man, I'm on the commercial roofing page, but I wanted to know about residential, so maybe that could help them. Great. So try to get at least 6. More would be better. Keyword in the H1. Let's go to that page. So again, we'll just click this little tool, headers, H1 commercial roofing. So we're on the commercial roofing page. I guess we can go back to that residential roofing one so you don't get confused. Headers, residential roofing, right there. So good. I think that's the keyword they're trying to rank for. So good job, they got it. So you can tick that box. Keyword in the H2. I think this might be kind of more like optional. Maybe it was more of a thing in the past, but I sometimes do it. So you can do it if you want to. So the H2 I think would probably be this one, but let me check, make sure it is. Headers H2 is that. Kinda. I mean, I don't think it's the first H2. It'd be better if it was the first H2 that had this keyword in it. So residential roofing and then residential roofing, but I think it's fine. Okay. Uh, did you ask GSC to index? So we just covered that. So you go to Google Search Console, put in the URL, and say request indexing. Okay. Added keywords to tracking. This is optional. You could use a tool I use called keyword.com. So you can use this tool. It's not that expensive, and there's like a few different ways that you can track. So you can track with desktop, mobile, or both. And I just track with mobile, so I think they're probably not too different from each other. And yeah, it's not too bad, too much, and it just kind of tells you a little bit like how well your page is doing. Alternatively, so it's called SEO Stack. Okay, SEO Stack. Here we go. It's a little bit pricier, but if you really want to know how well your pages are doing, this is the tool for it. So the idea behind this is in Google Search Console. Let me just pull out a notepad here. So, okay, Google Search Console. So you have a page, let's say it's called residential roofing, like we just looked at. And there are going to be queries that it ranks for under it. It's going to be query like um, roofer near me, roofing contractor, best residential roofers. Okay. But the thing is, these queries will fluctuate over time. So maybe you'll get more, da da da, or maybe you'll get less. And this tool SEO Stack will track that, and we'll see like, are these growing? So the idea seems to be if you're gaining more queries in Google Search Console for a page, then it's probably doing something good, even if you don't see a tool like keyword.com. If you don't see like an upward gain in keyword.com, that's not necessarily the full picture. What's going to give you more timely information are the amount of queries that you're getting for that page, like ranking for that particular page here. And you also want to look at the cohesiveness of the words. So if you have like ballerina, flip flops for a residential roofing page, then that's probably not the best sign. Maybe it's a sign that your content is um, very, it's all over the place and you need to tighten it up. So yeah, that's another, you know, very professional tool that you could use. It's kind of more for like more experienced SEO people, but it's just a heads up that like, keyword.com isn't going to tell you the whole story. Like there's another story that's going on, right? All right, so yeah, you can do that. You can add it to keyword tracking. Screen reader tested. Okay, so here's another nice thing to do, especially for people who have vision problems. Okay, so now we're on the screen reader tested part. We can go to the page and turn on the screen reader. That's with Command F5 for Macs. So I'm just turning that on. Okay, so that's gonna like be able to let you read the page, and basically you want to just make sure that that works. So you gotta tab through like the different things, and um, just make sure if you have trouble seeing that you're able to navigate the page and understand what each of these images is and all that stuff. Okay. Often, like websites will have a skip to content link, so you'll want to make sure that works. So you'll just press return, and then it should bring you to like somewhere like this. Okay. So that's what that step's about. Does it look good on desktop and mobile? Right. So you have a page, you just filled it out, but maybe it doesn't look great on mobile. So how are you going to know? Well, I would just pull out your phone. So pull out a phone, put in the URL, and check it out. I would check it out on an iPhone and on an Android because they can be different. And if you want to get, but let's say you don't have an iPhone, right? The best way to check is with Safari. So use the Safari browser to know that. And let's just kind of simulate though, like what it could look like on mobile. So I'm going to go here to these tools. I pressed Command Option I to do that. And then I'm going to go to this little button here. And now we're in mobile mode. And yeah, it's responsive. So if I click here, great. I have the menu. I like that the number's up there and it's really clear what the page is about. So yeah, everything looks great there. So you can check that box. And then you can have notes. So if maybe there's something you need to fix or just you want to write down, you can do that as well. There's a few other items on this page. I'm just going to move this so you can see. So we got GSC check. Okay, so I wanted to show you another part of this Google Sheet that would be wise to do. You want to make sure you have a sitemap for your website and to add it to Google Search Console. So how do you find your sitemap? Well, you can just ask ChatGPT and enter your domain and then this sitemap.xml. So let's do that for this page and see if it has one. Slash sitemap. Okay, so there it is. And then I believe it says check your sitemap, submit your sitemap to Google Search Console. So just you can just follow these steps here to add the sitemap to Google Search Console as well. Uh, Kind of just helps tell the internet all of like the different links and paths on your website. Okay. And then like let's say you indexed a page and then there's some problem. This page will let you keep track. It's like, okay, I have this URL. It was crawled this time and then here's the issue and then here's what I did to fix it. And you can like add the date. Um, so this kind of helps you keep track because let's say you have a problem and you submit, you know, you say, hey, I fixed it, and you say that, submit that in Google Search Console, it might not save that. So, or it might not fix the problem. So, yeah, that's about it. So that's on page SEO. It's just kind of checking some boxes. It's nothing too scary, hopefully. And then the next part, I think I'll probably talk about how to do the blog posts and writing those because those are kind of a different sort of uh, way of working as opposed to service pages and service area pages. But yeah, stick around.